You understand, to come up out of this, man, coming back to this truth. You understand, coming back to the real truth. Andrea also shared her opinion on the consequences for those responsible for such crimes. To take somebody's life, I feel as though if you take a life, your life should not be spared, she stated. And that's the frustration that our people are feeling. You understand? And I remember at one point in time, you understand, people looked out for their kids and their neighbors' kids. It's not like that anymore. People don't like for you to tell their kids what to do, or you understand what I'm saying? You can't say anything to anybody's kids. And this is the reason why things like this are happening. You understand? Because everybody feels as though they have to look out for themselves. They can't look out and worry about anybody else's children because you're so frustrated and worried about your own. And these are things that happen, you know. It says on December the 10th, another male was shot and killed at the same corner where the 14-year-old was shot. That case also remains unsolved. I mean, this is the times that we living in. You understand? And these are the end times.
Now let me ask you this, my thumb. Is Governor Westmore and Brandon Mayor Scott going to do a crime walk this week?
I doubt it.
They're gonna do a crime walk. What's up?
Are they gonna do a crime walk?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think they're gonna do no crime walk this week. You know why? Because Donald Trump, he had a good time at the Navy and Army bowl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They did their little march in and the flyovers, and they had a good old white time. Keep that garbage down there in Annapolis if y'all could. So like, you know what I mean? Keep that in Annapolis and Washington, and and we can focus on black folk here in Baltimore.
Right.
Black folk down here in Fruitland and Suitland and Ocean City. You understand?
Right.
Let us focus on that. Keep that garbage down there in Annapolis. And like because Trump ain't say nothing about the crime in Baltimore, you're not going to see Governor Westmore. You know why? He only uses Trump to do a march or a walkthrough for political gain.
Yeah.
His political theatrics.
That's it.
Oh, Trump said something about Baltimore. Let me go to Baltimore. I'm brave and I love blacks and I'm here for the people. You're a piece of garbage.
Right.
Okay. Governor Westmore, listen, if you're not a piece of garbage, you should sit with me. You should sit with us. Matter of fact, we're going to be sitting with one of your senators next week.
Right.
Come down, pop up in the office so we can talk business. So we can talk so-called politics. Because we in the business of serving the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. You understand?
Right.
Not only when Donald Trump, trying to punk you. We are dying and starving in the ghettos of Baltimore.
Right.
We're dying, starving in the ghettos of Baltimore. And we take this job very seriously, fighting for our liberation, fighting for our freedom, building the kingdom of heaven. And you wanna come in and march for some goddamn political gain with your political theatrics along with Mayor Brandon Scott, which may seem well. Yeah, both of y'all might seem well, but I don't know. Because I don't see you when people dying. I don't hear or see you when people dying and people starving. I see a little commercial here and there. Oh, we got a little thing going on. Like, there's so many food banks getting denied from the Maryland Food Bank. It's criminal.
How do you get denied?
It's criminal. Just because they don't like you. Just because they don't like you.
And that's against the law, right?
Come on, forget about it.
It's discrimination, right?
Let's get some. I think we can drop that story, man.
I had to go with the EEOC on that.
Come on, forget about it. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
How about that? I'm gonna go with this one right here.
What you got?
House
It's belong to all the argument in the chat.
House Democrat charges charged with stealing $5 million in FEMA funds and making illegal campaign contributions. Listen, check this out. We did an article a couple weeks ago with what's the dude from the Fugees? Michelle.
I don't know that now. I know all I know is Lauren and the other cat, the Haitian brother.
Yeah. But the other one is the one he got charged
NBC.
with making illegal campaign contributions from 2012. 2012, back when Obama was president on his second term.
This is
Come on, sir.
I'm gonna share it to the chat. Yo, chat, check this out. I'm gonna share it to the chat real quick. This is more breaking news here. I'll read the title. You can elaborate.
And this is the thing too, right? And all of these funds, and this is the reason why we should not contribute to none of these Democratic, Republican. What's the one in the middle? The
Green Party.
Is it called that? I know it's the Democrat, the Republican, and the one where they not for Democrat or Republican. One Bernie Sanders.
I thought it was called the Green Party or something like that.
Okay, we're gonna say the Green Party for right now, but none of these parties, when it comes to campaign contributions, none of these parties give back to us as a people. And when I talk about us as a people, I'm talking about blacks and Hispanics and natives. You understand? We don't get anything from these campaign contributions. What you see going on down there, right on Boston Street, all of that building, all of that building that they doing down there, everything they putting down there is from campaign contributions. Those are the way our campaign contributions going. And we got schools that don't have proper heating. You had schools that closed. Some schools were delayed because they didn't have proper heating. When you get down to 28, 35, 28 degrees, what is this, 28 out there now? And it's going to drop lower than that. You understand? Can you imagine going into a school in the morning and you don't have heat, and you know everything is made out of concrete and marble in those schools, holding everything. You understand what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, they said they were going to bring in the lottery. You're going to bring in the horse racing. We're going to bring in the sports betting.
Right.
We're going to bring in the casinos. All this stuff going to bring in money for the schools. Still having the same problems now.
You know what's funny with that too, right? And we the only people that continually fall for the same lie. Since 1972, the Maryland Lottery has been a way that we can fund our school. They've been telling us that since 72. They came up with the four-digit lottery. Then they came up with the not the Mega Millions, but the Powerball. Come up with the Powerball. They come up with the Mega Millions. They come up with all of this stuff to continually feed our minds, and we continually fall for the same lie. It's like the snake oil salesman comes to your door, sells you bull crap. He leaves, go around the corner, come back with another hat on, and sell you the same bull crap. Every time we fall for it. And think about all of that money that we continually put into all of these funds, FEMA, the Red Cross, and all of this type of stuff. And we never think about what happened to the brothers and sisters down there in New Orleans when the levees broke.
Katrina.
Hurricane Katrina. A lot of that stuff still hasn't been rebuilt. If you look at Puerto Rico, the rich part of Puerto Rico has been fixed up. The poor part is still looking the same way. Every time tragedy happens to us in our neighborhood, they talk about all of these FEMA funds and all of these things are supposed to help rebuild. It doesn't help. Think about this, right? They talking about giving the farmers $120 billion to relieve the farmers, right? But they still didn't give the black farmers the $500 million they owed them from back when Biden was president, and and the economy collapsed the first time behind the COVID.
Come.
They have a COVID fund with $500 million. The white farmers got funded through all the FEMA and everything. The black farmers, they still sitting waiting on the 500 million that was for the black farmers.
Come.
Now they got another 120 billion that they're gonna give these white farmers now. They're talking about giving it to farmers. They didn't even say, just like they did the first time. They said for farmers. And we all know that it's not just for farmers, but it's for oppressors farmers.
Come.
You understand? And we still sitting on our hand. And this is another reason why we need to support black farmers. You understand? And I know we hear the same thing over and over and over again. You understand? But if we begin to support our own, we would see a change eventually. You understand? Eventually we would. You understand? So think about the businesses that we did have that we gave up. For what? For integration. This is what integration has gotten us into. Integration has gotten us into sitting at the back of the bus again. Only thing is, it's not a bus, it's FEMA funds, it's Red Cross funds, different things like that. It's whether we're going to build up the good part of Puerto Rico or the poor part of Puerto Rico. You understand? And that's all it is. It's whether we're going to do for them or whether we're going to do for our own, and they choose their own. When you come into somebody's house, you have to wait until they give you something. You can't demand anything in somebody else's house. And that's what integration did to us. Integration placed us in somebody else's house. And now they got us sleeping in the basement. Can't complain when you don't have your own house. Oh, yeah.
Straight up. Straight up.
I am.
No, that'd be me.
I was right.
That'd be me.
Yeah, because sometimes man, you think about it, right? And when you young and you really don't have a care in the world, and that's the issue too, right? Because when we young, we don't have a care in the world, and then we don't have people telling us what's really happening in the world. We get shielded. Our parents shield us. So by the time we become adults, we are fully vested in America, fully invested in the ways of America. Things happen, they happen. If they don't, oh well, that's how we feel. Then when you get to a certain age, you're like, damn, how do we go this long without? How do we go this long in dependency?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? We are a dependent child.
Okay.
You understand? We own no industries that we can withhold anything from anybody. And that's another thing too, right? Racism. We can't be racist when you calling out the conditions that people put you in. Because you mad about the situation that people put you in, that's not being a racist. That's just calling out racist situations. You understand? Not only that, in order to be a racist, you have to be able to control and withhold and dictate situations that people are in.
You got to be able to oppress.
You
understand? That's, if I could elaborate just a tad bit.
Go ahead, sir.
You gotta be able to oppress. They wanna come at the UPK and they wanna come at us like we some type of criminals. Listen, I'm just stating the fact. The so-called white man put us in chains and slavery and oppressed us for 400 to 500 years, and I can't say nothing about it.
Right.
But you turn around and talk about never forget about 9/11.
Ooh.
You turn around and say never forget about the calamities that happen to other nations. But when it comes to my people, we got to forget about it. We got to leave that in the past. We got to come up with critical race theory,
right,
and all this other madness.
You just hit on something, right?
Good.
You heard what Netanyahu said about that. Did you got that thing in Australia?
We got it.
Okay, I ain't gonna talk about it yet. We're gonna get back to this House Democrat. But like you said, we are being oppressed. And when you speak up about being oppressed, you become a racist. So that means If somebody comes up to you on the street and starts beating the hell out of you, you can't say anything about it, or you're a racist. How does that sound? How does that sound? You can't call out and point the finger at the person who is severely beating you, or you're a racist. That's what America does to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. Think about the condition. Listen, we've gotten used to the conditions that we live in, right? So much so that it's normal. So because it's normal, our condition is normal to us. I ask everybody to look at how the Native Americans are living. We talking about they living on reservations, like they living in Airbnbs. When you go and look at these Native Americans that are living on these reservations, some of them don't have indoor plumbing. Some of them don't have running water. A lot of them don't. I can't say some. I have to say a lot of them don't.
They're living in the projects.
Right. Living in projects, but a little worse. Because like I said, they don't have, some of them don't have indoor plumbing. Some of them don't have running water indoors. I watched the CNN episode, and they talked about a guy. He had 3 children, him, his wife, and their 3 children. He had to drive 3 hours to go fill up. You ever seen one of those ICB containers, that big plastic container with the nozzle on the side? He had to drive 3 hours to fill that container. It takes about an hour to fill that container, and then he had to drive 3 hours back. He did a whole job. He worked an 8-hour job just to go get water. You understand what I'm saying? And he has to do that once or twice a week.
Right.
Can you imagine? You understand? Can you imagine people coming in onto your reservation, having their way? Listen, you know how many Native American sisters are missing off of those reservations that you don't hear any Amber Alerts for them. Not at all. It's just a missing persons report that they shuffle in a file and push to the back of a drawer. You understand what I'm saying? And now it's the same thing with us, because you have missing sisters too, blacks and Hispanics, that they don't talk about. Get pushed into a file, pushed to the back of a drawer. Doesn't matter. You understand? But we've gotten so numb to our situation that it seems normal. Well, think about what we just talked about right here, how those Native Americans, some of them are so numb to it that it's normal. It's normal to them. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. You understand what the Bible say? He that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. You understand? He that leadeth into captivity shall be led into captivity. You understand? All we have to do is have patience and have understanding of these scriptures. You understand? We have to believe, you understand, in our own people and stop believing in America. You understand? I'm gonna get this article right here. Listen, this says, you got that up there? Okay. House Democrat charged with stealing $5 million in FEMA funds and making illegal campaign contributions. Now, stealing from the FEMA fund is normal for the oppressor. Making illegal campaign contributions is normal for the oppressor. But as blacks and Hispanics, we are not allowed. That's it right there. We are not allowed to do that. Listen, and the only reason why they propped her up and brought her out is because she probably crossed somebody. She said the wrong thing out her mouth to an oppressor. And let me explain something to you. Not going to get too far off. But when we see a lot of our black leaders go down like this, they go through the court process to drain them. They don't get much time with the promise of that we'll give you another shorter position. You understand? But if you can't, you understand, bend your knee to us at this point in time, we're gonna send you away forever. And they accept what they get. Because if you think about it, right, Catherine Pugh got contribution funds sent to her. What she did, the slick thing that she did was created a children's book. Didn't make sense at all. She created a children's book and sent those books to the people who made contributions, and they made it seem like they were buying books and not, you understand?
They just funneling money.
They funneling. It's basically it's money laundering.
Oh.
It's cleaning up dirty money. The money is really for this, but we're gonna make it seem like it's this.
If I could, my thumb.
Go ahead, sir.
That's what. If I could just to add, I'm gonna let you run.
Go ahead.
That's what. When we get in that political field, we behave just like that heathen.
Right.
That's why all this money going into the education. But where's the results?
Listen.
And then, meanwhile, it's less students getting in the schools.
Right.
That's who getting a bigger paycheck. The head of education.
Right.
Everybody getting bigger paychecks, and the result of their work is diminishing. You understand?
Let me ask you a question, Salaki, sorry, if I may. Where is the money coming from?
Exactly. That's the question. It's coming from the people.
Let me tell you where it's really coming from.
Go ahead.
The money that those people from the education system are getting is coming from the prison system.
Mm.
The school to prison pipeline, right? They say to you, if you keep them uneducated and if you keep them funneling into the prison system, we'll contribute this to you. This is our campaign contribution to you. You understand? That's why they both go hand in hand. The prison, the school to prison pipeline is a real thing. It sounded crazy back in the day, especially in the 80s. That was something I really didn't believe. You understand what I'm saying? But when you look at it, how all of the skill centers that they took out of schools, how the education system, how they dumbed it down, how they then brought into the No Child Left Behind system. You understand? It was to create the system that's created today. So if they don't make it in school, they're gonna make it in prison.
Let me add to this real quick. You're absolutely right. It's coming from there also. We got to recognize and understand is this also. Baltimoreans and Marylanders are being robbed.
Right.
Are being robbed blind. And you can thank Mayor Brandon Scott, and you can thank Governor Westmore.
Mm-hmm.
Until they speak to us, they are thieves. Until proven otherwise, you understand?
Right.
I went down to the goddamn the Baltimore office right there. What is it? Baltimore Street, right after the police station.
You talking about the central booking?
Not central booking, but right after the police station. It's another like government building across the street from City Hall.
You talking about okay, I know legal aid is across from that.
It's a bunch of stuff up in there.
They got the rental offices, the big place where you go at to file complaints about.
Yeah, so you go down.
I know
the
you're
street,
talking about. Yeah,
I think it's Fayette. When you go down Fayette, you got what's the name on the? You got city council on the right, and you got the courthouse on the left. And it's
like a municipal building.
It's another
like
building.
a municipal building.
Listen, this is the building where they do all the other business in Baltimore. See, I went up in that building trying to look for city-owned property. I'm trying to see what type of grants we can get it.
Right.
You get up there, man. People up there sitting got their feet up. You know what I mean? Cool. Like nobody comes up here.
Right.
Is somebody utilizing the city's resources?
Right.
Hey, I come up there. I'm sitting there. I'm waiting. I'm standing. And they come out like that. Out like we got to work today.
Like you bothering.
Right, I'm bothering they joint. So I go up there. I'm like, yeah, I'm interested in what's on this website. Boom, boom, boom. I'm trying to see if these programs are still prevalent, and we're trying to see if we can get a grant or we can get some type of help to get some. Yo, I'm telling they was like in awe.
I ain't never really had to do my job.
I ain't never had to do my job, and I guarantee you, they making cake in that joint.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, spot was empty. No, it was no line,
Right.
no people. I walk in there, nobody at the front desk, and I sit there. I just sitting there, waiting, looking in the back. They chilling, feet up, nothing to do.
Right.
And you know what they did? They gave me the website
I'm about to say.
that I go to at home.
Right.
Like, I've been here already. I'm here because of this.
Right. I'm surprised they didn't give you a flyer.
I'm trying to tell you, it was like the workaround. I did a class on you guys.
Right.
On correct. But it was like we're being robbed.
Yeah.
We're being robbed. And all this black folk money is lying in the pockets of people that don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Of hustlers and scammers, and you know, it's programs that's being funded that's not even an operation, right? That can be going to the people, that can be going to real organizations like the UPK that use their own money to fund food drives and clothing drives and camps. And I mean, we out here moving like
right.
We self-funded. We self-funded fully.
Yeah.
And they out there just draining the people's money for what? For a good time.
Yeah.
And this is what's happening with these people right here, that the story that you're bringing up.
Right.
We can get some more on it.
Yep. About to read it now. Representative Sheila Shafilus McCormick, a Democrat in Florida, was indicted Wednesday on charges she stole and laundered $5 million in federal relief funds and used the money for her congressional campaign, the Justice Department said. Now, think about this, right? When Brett Favre stole, how much did Brett Favre steal?
Millions.
He stole millions. He got a volleyball court or field or something like that
for his daughter.
For his daughter's school. A school that gets funding, a private school that's already funded. He got so much money that he can donate money to make himself look upstanding. These people, we are under siege by pirates. Didn't they just steal an oil tanker?
Come on.
They stole an oil tanker, right?
Got nothing with what y'all talking about. Ain't talking about nothing about narco trafficking. You just straight up stealing oil, you goddamn bully.
You say,
don't Venezuela got a right to do business with who they want to do business with?
Right.
First of all, you don't recognize the international court because you mad about them charging Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's international. We got internationals, blah blah blah. You don't reckon. You recognize it when it benefits you. Come on, man.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. It says, in a news release citing the indictment, the Justice Department said that Sherifulus McCormick, 46, and Edwin Sherifulus, 51, her brother, worked on a staffing contract funded by the Federal Emergency Management Agency for COVID vaccination, tied to their family health care company. God, ain't that something? Mm-hmm. Their family got a health care company. So think about this, right? And this is something new to me, right? I never knew Black people had a health care company, But I can guarantee you.
Meanwhile, they're using it to extort.
Salakia.
Because they politicians.
Understand something. I want to go a little bit deeper, sir. We got time, right? Mm-hmm. Let's go a little bit deeper. If a Black person or Black people own a healthcare company, it has to be tied to some oppressors. some oppressors have to be. They don't allow us to own anything like that. That's a
What the scripture say, and one of all things.
On one of all things. But think about this. I'm gonna go somewhere, right? We did a class on this years ago, right? It says, what's that? The Maryland 1638 Maryland Doctrine of Exclusion. No black person, no slave black person, or anybody black shall be able to enjoy the fruits of white society. The fruits of white society is anything that a black person can stand up on and be independent of the oppressor.
Okay.
The reason why they burned down Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood, Seneca Village, and all those little cities and black towns all across America is because black people were able to stand up and build themselves up without any help from the oppressor. That's a fruit of white society when you don't need any other nation of people to uphold and stand on your own. They always tell you pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, they took the bootstraps and they don't allow us. So when a black people have their name on anything like this, our oppressor is always tied to it. But because they probably did something wrong and crossed an oppressor, they the ones taking the fall for it, not the oppressor.
Just like story we brought up a couple of weeks ago on the news desk with the Italian mafia.
There you go again, right?
The
face of wrongdoing is always going to be so-called blacks and Hispanics. Point blank, the face of it, and they always going to bring it out and put you up there. Think about it, right? Brett Favre stole millions, and that's gone. That's been pushed under the rug. You understand? What they did right here is what oppressors do every day. It's what oppressors do every day. But they have to show us that you are not us. You are not able to do what we do. You can't speak in the way that we speak. And this is the reason why they taking this fall right now. Listen, it says Edwin Shifless, her brother, worked on a staffing contract funded by the Federal Emergency Management Agency for COVID vaccination tied to their family health care company in 2021. And that company was overpaid by $5 million in relief funds. She and her brother are accused of conspiring to steal the overpayment and route it through various accounts to conceal its origin. McCormick is alleged to have used the money for her own enrichment and to fund significant parts of her congressional campaign. McCormick won a special election in January 2022 to fill the seat of the late Democrat Republican Alice Hastings. She won 72.3% of the vote in that year's general election and was reelected again last year when she ran uncontested. So now, because you poured, listen, how much money did Elon Musk pour into Donald Trump?
Million.
Now, people might say, right, but he didn't steal from the FEMA fund. But let's go deeper, right? Let's ask ourselves, where did he get that money from? Right? Let's go back to South Africa, where his mother and father robbed gold mines and diamond mines in Africa from those Africans. Now, we ain't on the sides of Africans, but we can pull out a thief and point out a thief when we see one. You understand what I'm saying? So you can rob people from gold and diamonds, and then you can invest in somebody else. And think about it, right? Ain't he supposed to be a South African national? You understand? If I'm not mistaken, I thought they couldn't be. Somebody from another country can't fund your campaign, can they?
Come on, man.
I thought that was illegal.
Listen.
I thought that was
Israel got certain different rules for different folk. It's a lot.
Listen. I'm just pointing stuff out. You understand? Again, this is what happens when we give up everything that we have to be amongst them. When you move into a person's house, you have to live by that person's rules. That person makes the rules, but because it's his house, he doesn't have to live by the rules. Only you. And this is why we say we have to start getting some cows, tanning that leather from the cows, putting those bootstraps on our own boots and pulling ourselves up.
No, we was doing it, but the problem is Martin Luther King had a problem with that.
Yeah, he did.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, you definitely.
Al Sharpton had a problem with that. Jesse Jackson had a problem with that. Like, we don't recognize and understand, but no, you bring it up all the time. I love it. Everything that we asking for, we had.
Right.
We had. Oh, we need a black this. We need a black that.
Right.
Bro, listen, poor Martin Luther King, all them cats like that. We had all that.
Yeah.
Then you know what I see when a black something come up? Oh, we got the first black this.
Right.
The first black that.
Yep.
This ain't the first. This is the first post integration.
Yeah.
Dumb.
We've always listen. We had black judges in them black towns. You understand? We had black representatives in them black towns. It's not in these days and times, it's no more first blacks. It's blacks again. You understand? But not only that, the blacks again are blacks that's not looking out for us, so-called blacks and Hispanics.
They conform.
They conform to the listen.
Just like her. Just like Sheila. Here.
Right.
Hold up. Let me get back to listen. Just like Sheila McCormick.
Yeah.
She's like her father, the devil.
Yeah. She is of her father, the devil.
You know what I mean?
When you listen, we have to also understand something. When you are in a position of power in America, you conform to the ways of America. You understand? You have transformed yourself. You have pledged your allegiance.
There you go. Come on.
You have pledged your allegiance to America. And what do we always say? When you pledge your allegiance to America, you take your allegiance away from your people. That's just how it is. And we don't understand that as a people. In order for those people to get into the House of Representatives, into Congress, think about this. Jasmine Crockett, she running for the Senate now.
And she running for that. I saw her ad. You know what her ad is all about? It ain't nothing about I ain't see nothing about God damn, what's the word I'm looking for? Her whole thing was about, if you against Trump, vote for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
She can't do that now.
I ain't see nothing about policy. I ain't see nothing for black folk. I ain't see nothing for no folk.
No.
No folk.
Well, running for the Senate, she can't do that now because she'll automatically get ostracized. Because listen,
before you go there, hold your peace.
Come on,
I just want to make this one point real quick. The whole ad, right, was about, I am against Trump, and if you are against Trump, vote for me. Trump is bad. I'm good.
Right.
Don't say nothing. Don't say why you're good. Just know I'm good because I'm against Trump. That's her political, way into office.
So, Lucky, can I ask you a question, sir?
Which is what they all do.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Please.
Who does that sound like?
It sounds like Trump. Trump did the same thing.
No.
I'm against Trump. I'm against Biden. I'm against the Democrats. That's all he say. That's what they all play that same role. It's the Democrats. It's the Republican. Go ahead.
Who said what she said? What did she say again? She said that I'm against Trump. Vote for me, right?
Biden. Biden said the same. Yeah, come on, man.
If you ain't black, if you don't vote for me.
And they let that run. They let that go.
And that's what she running on. She running on not stupidity, but she's running on the people being stupid. Because
I wouldn't even say stupid, but
she saw
more or less unaware.
Unaware. Let's go with
because look, Donald Trump is rightfully so is the face of evil, the face of
right,
a decline and diminishing modern politics. Of course, you're going to use that in your campaign or what have you.
Right.
But you ain't no different. Like, this is the thing. He's an outwardly racist.
Right.
Obama was racist.
Right.
Kamala Harris is racist.
Definitely.
George Bush Jr. and Senior racist. All of these cats is racist. A lot of these Clinton. All these cats in these political seats. What's that cat? That black cat that was like on sitting up there, did that 24-hour thing. Damn, I forget his name.
What's that?
He's a goddamn coon. Hakeem Jeffries. I can't stand this coon. You know, he pro-Israelis. Israelis got the right. He had a damn emblem on his. Yeah. He had the Israeli pen.
Yep.
He's a goddamn coon.
Yeah.
Out there for political gain, acting like he for the people and all this, using Trump's name just like Kamala Harris, just like Governor Westmore. You
know what?
Are a career politician.
You know what we found out though? And this is the crazy thing, and doesn't matter what side of the aisle you on. The so-called Israelis, they play both sides of the aisle. So what I found out was those little pins, they make them wear when they come on TV to let them show to subtly show their solidarity and their loyalty to the Israelis. So they have to come on there and they have to wear that pin. You understand? So when they speaking, if they not wearing that pin, they don't get their credibility. They don't get no credibility. They don't get anything. They have to wear that pin. And if you notice, everybody that wears that pin stands at the top of the heap. Nobody who's at the bottom wears that pin. So they said, I don't even want to say that because that was the Charlie Kirk thing, but they said he was pulling away from the Israelis.
He was.
So, in pulling away from the Israelis, just like Tucker Carlson, they started changing their views of the so-called Israelis and started getting on the oust. So now they said that now that Charlie Kirk is gone, they moved his wife into that position. And now what she's doing is telling everybody to stop the propaganda that's being heard about Charlie Kirk leaving.
Y'all know Candace Owens.
Yeah, Candace Owens has been on
hey, y'all, listen, man.
And she disappoints me too at times because
I ain't a fan of her even about that George Floyd stuff.
Yeah.
I ain't a fan of her, but look, she gonna haul for this white man.
Yeah, she gonna
haul for this white man. You think that was her damn husband at this point?
Right.
It's a lot how she going against.
Yeah.
Turning Point USA and all that. And she got Erica Kirk heated, Autumn White, what do you call them?
Liberals or
no, not liberals, the other side.
Conservatives.
Autumn White leftists, conservatives.
Yeah.
Heated, bro.
Yeah. Because
it's like a messy, it's like messy Republican, it's like messy conservative political turmoil.
Yeah.
Over this Charlie Kirk.
Family business being put out in the street.
Yeah.
It's family business.
We'll get a story on that scene. Yeah. You want to drop this one and get into that?
Yeah. Let's get into that. We can drop that. Yeah. What you got on that? I don't think I got no.
I had some pulled up. Bad one.
Hey, listen, check this out too, right? We gotta Not only do we gotta watch oppressors, we gotta watch these people from these other nations too. These people from these other nations talk a lot of trash, brother. I'm just talking while you looking for that. Listen, that actor B.D. Wong apologized after racist remark likening black man to animal. You understand? And that's that. I don't know if anybody knows B.D. Wong, but he's the dude that plays what's the Law and Order, the Chinese dude that play on Law and Order. You understand? He's a I think he's the one that be in the you know how they be in the autopsy rooms like that. I think that's what he be doing. But it says he's best known for his role on Law and Order as has apologized after likening black man to an animal. The racist remarks stem from a social media post by wildlife influencer Mike Holston, who shared a photo of himself with an animal and invited his followers to guess what it was. Name this animal. Wong answers only, Holston wrote. Oh, she said, name this animal. Wrong answers only, Holston wrote.
Okay.
It says, amid joking response, Wong commented back, it appears to be a black man.
Come on. Come on, man.
The actor deleted his remark about social for invoking race stereotype. And listen, this is a thing that we use. We always every was in every class. Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourself together. You gather together. O nation, not desired. We are the only people that does not understand that we are a nation of people that these other nations do not desire. They like everything that we create but us. Hear that again. They like everything that we create, that we do, that our whole essence. They just don't like us. And the Bible tells us that it's just not that they made the turtlenecks with the black face.
Was that Gucci?
Gucci made the turtlenecks with the black face. These people show us time after time after time. Listen, even in the conditions they allow us to live in. If you go down, you was talking about Little Italy earlier. You can go down to Little Italy, you won't see any rats, but you can go a couple of blocks over and see rats everywhere. How is that? Because they don't desire us so much so, but they'll push us into conditions like that. They'll create great conditions for themselves. Right there on Boston Street.
Say something? They'll utilize all the city resources,
right,
to clean up particular neighborhood, particular sections, but right on the other side is, desolence,
poverty, and everything else.
Oh yeah, you
understand what I'm saying? And we the only people.
Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button.
We the only people that doesn't recognize. You understand? They don't care what condition we in. They don't care how we live in. You understand? As long as they can feed off of us. Think about this, right? And we always ask this again, right? Where do all of these Asians that own all of the corner stores in our neighborhood, where do they live at? Where do these Africans that be selling us bootleg everything, where do they live at? All these Arabs that own all the chicken spots, where do they live at? All the East Indians that own all the Dunkin' Donuts, where do they live? Think about it. They come in, they take all of our money and go back and build up their own. Look how we living. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But listen, this actor, they show their hatred, and listen, it used to be uncommon to hear something like that. Now it's becoming more common every day. Every time you turn around, somebody else is saying something. What about the rabbi that called black people monkeys?
Mhm.
Think about it. He called us monkeys in that, what's that language they speak?
Mandarin?
No. The rabbi.
Yiddish.
Speaking in Yiddish. Called black people monkeys in Yiddish.
Wow.
And we are so forgiving. You understand? Listen, it's a time to love and a time to hate. You understand? When are we going to start hating them and bring our love out to people?
When we say, hey, it's really about love for us.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Because if we take all of that love we give to them,
that.
yeah, exactly. Consolidate our love to our people. You understand? BD Wong. Every time you turn around, you supporting him. We're doing everything for these oppressors and these heathens, and we get nothing in return. You understand? We support everybody. We support every other nation.
Shout out to everybody on YouTube and Twitter. We're getting a lot of views. Make sure you hit that like button. I hit that like button. It's gonna shoot our stream everywhere.
Listen, it says this was so stupid and disappointed of him to say on one Instagram user wrote, I bet if the joke was about the LGBTQ community, he wouldn't find it funny. Another person added, you know, he is in the LGBTQ community. And listen, this is the crazy thing, right? Because even if you slightly say something about them, they have
you homophobic now.
Exactly. You understand?
But you can make a sly joke, not even joke, it's straight up racist.
Yeah.
About black folk, you want to speak, or you want to delete the comment.
No backlash or anything.
He said sly about a so-called Jewish man, you are anti-Semite.
Then they have you on TV. They have Semite counseling classes. They sitting you down trying to read you the Talmud or whatever. They do everything.
They had Nick Cannon up there with had an interview with the Jewish man, smiling, teeth all big.
Right.
Yo, you supposed to be so-called woke. You sit up there with the so-called devil, laughing and joking and trying to be buddy with a so-called rabbi, with a so-called Jewish man. It's a goddamn sellout. You a sucker for that, man.
Showing all his chiclets. One TikTok user identified as Ed broke down why Wong's comment was so harmful. BD Wong, I need you to understand that animalization of black people isn't a joke because it's rooted in white supremacy and anti-blackness.
He's right.
Black people have always been compared to animal by white people to dehumanize them, the TikTok user said in the video.
Exactly. That's what they don't. We had something on the police.
Listen, think about this too, right? People always talk about, and I'm not downplaying the Holocaust or anything like that. I'm not downplaying anything that happened in Hiroshima or Nagasaki. I'm not downplaying anything that happened in Cambodia or anything like that. But the most horrible thing that has happened to a nation of people on the face of this planet has been the transatlantic slave trade, starting with the Hispanics or the native Indians.
That's what started.
The native Indians, and what's that, 1492?
Come on.
In 1492, all the way up till 2025. Listen, because we still being transported. We still slaves in America and in all of these
corporations
and
prisons,
not to mention in the Caribbean islands. Those people still enslaved. You understand what I'm saying? This is still happening to us. The greatest Holocaust on the face of this planet has been with the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives.
And the reason we got to use that term is because you only recognize a Holocaust because of what the so-called white man went through.
Right.
As soon as we call it slave and oppression, we got to say, oh, we got to forget about it. But if you say Holocaust,
right,
You got to remember what happened to the Jewish man.
Right.
You got to remember what Hitler did.
Right.
Which is fine and dandy. But we ain't here trying to compare calamities. We here trying to remember our history.
Right.
Meanwhile, just like they did to our brothers, the Native American Indians, they want to do this goddamn critical race theory. They lie. They until this day are lying about what happened with the Native American Indians.
Right.
In the school system to your child right now. Come Thanksgiving, the Pilgrim, they call them pilgrims up.
Right.
The Pilgrim and the Native Indian, they came together and they shared lifestyles. They ate turkey,
right,
and squash and pumpkin and pies. And it was just this loving community.
Right.
The so-called white man was a murderous scumbag. It's a murderous goddamn scumbag, and you're lying to a child. Now he growing up like, why the, you know what they taught us? Now they're going to do the same thing with our story. They calling it the Great Migration with so-called Negroes.
Right.
The oppressor, that's what it means to be a devil. It means to deceive. You want to get in the can of zone now? Oh, yes, I'm on.
Now, I was just looking up what this Holocaust means. A destruction involving extensive loss of life, especially through fire. But listen, they made that especially. Holocaust has nothing to do with just fire. You understand? Holocaust has to do with loss of life. And not only that, when we think about the Holocaust, right? And this is a lot of so-called Jewish experts are starting to say that it wasn't even 6 million of them that it happened to. You understand? This is not my word. This is the so-called Jewish man experts talking about that. And not to mention, they never tell you about the black people that were in those Holocaust camps too. You understand? It was black people in those Holocaust camps also. And not to mention, they never tell you. It's a hospital.
Yes. But no, you know, officers is absolutely right.
Right.
But the problem is this. The calamity is this. It's being undermined. It's being diminished to like acceptable in America. What happened to us?
Right.
Our calamity. Our you know, our situation in this place.
Right.
You had some more on there. I want to get to this.
I know you want to get to that, right? But
well, let's stay on it.
I'm just tripping off of this because I'm looking down at them. Listen to this, right? And I want everybody to understand what a Holocaust is. A Holocaust, because it's not conducive to one people.
Can I say something real quick?
Come on.
Hey, listen, there's mad people in the chat. Mad people in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like. Make sure y'all share it, man. Go ahead, hit that like. And get this radio show bumping. Hit that like. Put a fire emoji in the chat. Go ahead.
Check this out right now. Like I was saying, Holocaust is not conducive to one people. Holocaust is the destruction of masses of people. But I want y'all to hear the definition which they stretched out again, because this has not always been the definition of Holocaust. It says usually the Holocaust, the mass slaughter of European civilians, and especially Jews by the Nazis during World War II. Now understand something, right? Every so many years they expand and they crunch the meaning of Holocaust, right? It says a mass slaughter of people, especially genocide. And then they mention in small words a Holocaust in Rwanda. Remember when those people in Rwanda were being mass eliminated in Rwanda? But I don't want to touch on that what I want to say was they talked about the Jewish Holocaust, which was supposedly 6 million people. And I'm saying, because I'm not sure. That's why I'm saying supposedly, right? But we do know over 99 million blacks in the transatlantic slave trade just from the ride over died. 99 million. You had 77 million Native American Indians wiped off of their land. You had 55 million Hispanics, you understand, wiped off and their land was taken. Add those numbers up and then look, they call it a Holocaust today. You understand what I'm saying? And I want you to see that slowly but surely they trying to erase history. We living in a time where whitewashing is back again, but it's at an all-time high. Listen, they taking black accomplishments out of the military records. You understand? Anytime they taking the Tuskegee Airmen out, they taking black soldiers that died in battle. They erasing their names off. Everything is supposed to be becoming European. You understand? But without blacks and Hispanics, none of these wars America would have won.
100%.
100%.
100%. We
You
always
understand?
at the front line.
And this is another thing right here, right? I believe that we in the midst of World War III. I know we are, right?
For a fact.
We in the midst of World War III. Blacks and Hispanics and natives should not be in this war. Wipe your shirt off, wipe your shoes off, wipe your boots off, take some steps back and let them battle and fight for their own country. You understand? They wiping you. Listen, if you fight in any war from this point on, and I'm not really speaking to people who's already vested in it and has already signed the dotted line. We can't take that from you, and this is not a slight to you. But if you're not in this America military service right now, don't get in it. It's not for us. They've already showed us that. They wiping us right out of the history books. No matter what you do when you go over there, it's going to be wiped out. It's no use in going over there. No way.
Shalom to all the brothers and sisters checking in. Gabar, Princess Takaya, all the brothers and sisters. Drop a fire emoji. Drop something in the chat. Alazar in the building. Sister Dia checking in from Baltimore. Shalom. All the brothers and sisters, the water checking in Corolla County building. Officer Marta Bar down there in Louisiana. Shalom, brother. Shalom. Young man Andrew. Shalom to the order. I can checking in. Salaki if I miss you. But we got a bunch of people in the chat. Look at that.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people up in there.
All throughout social media, on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, hit that like. If you're on YouTube, drop a fire emoji. If you're on Facebook, drop a fire emoji, drop something in the chat. We love, you understand? We're going to keep rocking.
And check this out, like again, right? And we got enough time. Listen,
yeah, we got about 45 minutes. Listen, come on, man. Come on.
No, I just wanted to give a little touch on history, right? And this is just a little touch on history.
I do want to get them international ones, too.
What you want to do first?
I want to do Erica, then I want to get into them other international headlines that we got.
Okay.
We did a lot of local.
Yeah, we did a lot of local. So you want to jump into that now, or you want?
I want to go to Erica first. Hold on. I'm gonna pull this back up.
Also got that
Australia.
Oh yeah.
And, Brown.
All right, that's the thing, right? Let me just touch on this. This is gonna be real quick, right?
You got it. Go ahead.
I want everybody to see what America's doing, right? Just like in World War I, we talked about this in class a couple of weeks ago. But in World War I, America got everybody into a fight just to push them to front. And then America came in at the end. At the end of World War I, America was a power. a superpower
Uh-huh.
because they were the only ones that bombs did not land in America mainland. They did the same thing in World War II. If you think about World War II, America came in World War II a year after it started. Although they came in and was in it for a while, they only warred with Japan. Everybody else was fighting everybody. America only fought Japan. They only hit Normandy them last days when they stormed Normandy on D-Day.
That was a catastrophe.
Yeah, that was a catastrophe, but that's where America got most of their lives lost right there. And it wasn't more than a lot of like Germany losing 1 million people. They had Soviet Union lost 1.2 million people in the whole war. America, if I'm not mistaken, America only lost 238,000 people. Now think about 1.2 million as opposed to 238,000. I'm not sure if the numbers are right, but I know that the margin is right. You understand? I know that the margin is right. And there was a lot of countries that lost damn near millions of people. And then America sat at the top again as the lone power on the globe. And this is when they created the United Nations. It used to be the League of Nations. But because America couldn't control the nations in World War I, they stepped away from the League of Nations. Once World War II started, that's when they created the United Nations, because now America had to help everybody rebuild. And that's why they created the United Nations and controlled all of the laws and rules in the United Nations. That's why 193 countries can say no, but America can say yes, and it passes.
You know who else say yes with them?
So-called Israelis.
Just a couple of examples. Cuba embargo. They've been voting on the Cuban embargo for several decades.
Right.
Every other nation except the Israelis and the United States,
said they got 193 votes to take the embargoes away from Cuba, but America and the Israelis said nope, and that was it right there. You understand? And that's the reason why a lot of these nations are moving away from America. This is the reason why BRICS is becoming a strong alternative to the United Nations. You understand? Because America is forcing everybody to go against America and the so-called Israelis. You understand? They forcing the nations that warred against each other. They forcing them to be friends now. You understand?
Everybody looking at you. Everybody looking at the bully of the earth. Everybody looking at the Israelis in America like, yo, what in the hell is this?
Yeah.
Even their so-called allies. They came up against the school talking about Russia ain't gonna do this.
Right.
Soviet Union ain't coming back. Listen, look at them now. Everybody, it's all this international term. Oh, yo, ain't by mistake.
Right.
It's of the Lord. And these nations, we in the third woe here.
Yeah.
And it's ramping up. It's ramping up. Story after story after story. Calamity after calamity. Bomb after bomb. Intrusion after intrusion. It's not dying down. Everybody talking about a ceasefire here, peace talks in Russia with Ukraine. Ain't nothing dying down.
Nothing at all.
North Korea just welcomed troops back.
Mm-hmm.
Troops is over there crying. They ready to get back to work.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right. Hey, listen. We can see it right here, even at home. Listen, Salakia. Not to get too far off of it, but you see how now oppressors are getting emboldened, even right here at home, attacking blacks on the street. And I bring that up because my son got attacked a couple of days ago.
Dang, sorry to hear that.
He did beat the hell out the oppressor. He did. And it was a
rightfully so.
It was rightfully so. And it was a good thing that it was on camera too. But the one thing that I want to say, right, is I was happy in the moment, but I was also disturbed because I had to also say to my son, this is not something that's isolated. This is something that's been heightened, and we see a lot of this going on more and more and more. I want my son to watch his back and understand that these oppressors, the chemical imbalance in their mind, they are off. And this is when things go awry, the only thing they know is war. The only thing they know is destruction. And we have to be cautious because, like I was telling my son, if 2 or 3 more would have showed up, it's no telling what would happen. And it's no telling the story that they would have flipped on you. Even with the video that you had, you could see that it was him being the oppressor. But if it flipped the other way, we'd never have that. And the story would have been flipped on you. So we got to be mindful of the things that we do. And we have to be mindful of our surroundings. Now, he was in an area where my granddaughter lives at, where it's nothing but oppressors. So, and when you come into their den, and I'm saying their den because they animals.
When
you come into their den, it's no telling what can happen. You understand what I'm saying? That's it on that cat. But yeah, I was happy you kicked that. Was happy. Yeah, but I had to, like I said, I still had to give them the proper what's the name, because this is I didn't want him to think like this is an isolated incident. You understand? And like I said, if 2 or more of them would have seen,
hit that like button, y'all. Go ahead.
You understand? It would have been the situation, the outcome could have been totally different. You
100%.
understand? And then I don't even want to think about what I would have done. You understand what I'm saying? Most High Christ, I want a sound mind. I need a sound mind. You understand? So, but that's not a situation that I want to think about. Now let him know that too. I don't want to have to think about that again. So you got to be mindful. You know what I mean? You got family. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So where we at now? Where we going at?
We're going to Candace.
Candace Owen.
I got it pulled up here.
Okay. You need me to read it?
Either or.
I can read it because I don't have that.
There you
go. Look at the rings on the hand. Look at the rings on the hand.
Yeah, she. You got
it. Erica Kirk and Candace Owens to hold private meeting amid assassination theory tensions.
There's a lot.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead,
sir. Listen, I'm gonna let you rock. Give me a
man. Listen,
if you hold on, what's that?
We do not believe in conspiracy theories, but the information that's coming out and the way they placed her. Think about this, right? We've been hearing about Charlie Kirk for a long time. It's nothing new. We have never heard of her. She has never spoken. She has never done anything. She's been in the background. She's been in the background, right? So we talked about earlier that Charlie Kirk was moving away from the so-called Israelis, right? His stance on what was going on over there in Gaza totally changed, along with Tucker Carlson, right? Once his stance began to change, then the so-called Israelis begin to
those are the top 3 conservatives on that side. That's just like, hold up, let me reevaluate this. If I could just to interject for a second.
Come on, concern.
Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Charlie Kirk.
Right.
Real famous, a lot of followers, a lot of views, a lot of influence. So it's like they looking into stuff, like they questioning things like they usually do.
Right. And then the thing with Charlie Kirk was he had a young following. So because he had a young following, they began the so-called Israelis begin to get questioned by a lot of young followers
after the death.
See,
and then Benjamin Netanyahu came out days later. The Israelis, you know how he talked. The Israelis has nothing to do.
Yeah, that raspy voice. Yeah.
Right. Listen, why do you got to make this? Why do you got to be? I think. Listen, it's a whole lot of conspiracy theories, a whole lot of theories that's pointing a lot of fingers here and there, what have you.
Right.
But what we got to recognize and understand is they're messy.
Yeah.
They're messy. They're messy. First of all, Erica Kirk is now the CEO of Turning Point
Mm-hmm.
USA. So you're in a position where you need to now answer questions.
Right.
You could have just been the grieving wife.
Mm-hmm.
You could have just been the grieving wife in the corner, crying, which you didn't do a whole lot of publicly. It was, you're strange. That's a strange woman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're the CEO. Now you got to ask questions about your husband. You got to ask questions about your organizations, the money, all of these things that's going on. So a bunch of conspiracy theories going on around Charlie Kirk's death. Turning Point. I keep saying Trading Point. Turning Point USA.
You ready to say trading places?
And it's like, just answer the damn questions. It ain't hard.
Right.
And then not only that, they act like they can't just call Candace and do this live stream. They had this proposal. They had this proposal like, Candace you come on this date and you show up in person. It was like a whole back and forth. This is a bunch of messy madness.
Right.
Let's get into this article.
It's about control though, and they feel like they can control it. But
they losing the narrative.
Right. But more than that, putting her as the CEO and the speaking head, she's not a speaker. So that means somebody's speaking for her.
There you go.
Who could be speaking for her but the so-called Israelis? She's speaking from the Israelis.
That's the question. I'm not going to speculate.
No, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, we just said we're not about the conspiracy theories, but she's not a speaker. So she's not a speaker. Somebody has to be speaking for her.
And listen, she's a millionaire talking about she went to the grocery store, and it's like sit up. Let's get a press conference. Right. Let's clear the air.
Right.
All this little one-on-one interviews and you crying and let me have this just one thing with my husband and what the hell is going on? It's like people got questions. People concerned about Turning Point USA.
Right.
I better start losing money.
Yeah.
When the money start drying up and the donations
and the support,
y'all gonna be in hot water.
Because what's going to happen is this is where a lot of their propaganda got sent to the young people through Charlie Kirk. So their propaganda was sitting on the young people, and then once he started to turn away, then they started to turn away. Then there was an issue, and then that issue, we don't know what it came down to. But at the end of the day, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So at the end of the day, we are not about conspiracy theories. But if Charlie Kirk was turning away from the so-called Israelis and turned around and ended up assassinated, I mean, we not pointing fingers, but you just have to be the judge and you have to assess the situation on your own. No. But go ahead, sir.
No, you're right, but no, Candace Owens is one of the main heads pushing what they call conspiracy theories and theories around Charlie Kirk's death and raising a lot of red flags, and everybody's like, okay, that's an interesting point of view, and it's like it's gaining a lot of traction to the point where this $1 million corporation, this $1 million nonprofit has to respond to this point because it's making a lot of sense.
Right.
So Erica Kirk, now this is what happened recently. Erica Kirk, the widow of political activist Charlie Kirk, shared that she and Candace Owens.
You want me to
read? I can read some.
Okay.
And Candace Owens will be meeting for a private in-person discussion on Monday today. And I gotta get an update on this also.
It's a lot. Yeah, you said they having a private meeting, right?
It was today.
So now you know what's gonna happen, right? They're gonna make an offer to her to
that's what I think
speak in their behalf.
That's what I think. Now I don't know. Now listen, this is what I'm thinking. I don't know if it happened today or if it got rescheduled or not. We're gonna get an update on that though.
Right.
But Cass was like, I don't know. Somebody coming out of that meeting different.
Yeah.
Is Erica coming out of that meeting different?
Right.
Or is Candace Owens coming out of that meeting different?
Salaki, if I may, sir,
You know what I mean?
if we can scroll up a little bit.
Come. Hold on, bear with me. I'm having trouble with this page. Let me refresh.
I want stop right there. Go back down. I want everybody to see them rings on her hands right there.
Mm-hmm. This is a wealthy woman, right?
She gonna speak for them so-called Israelis because that's where most of their money came from. They were funded directly by the so-called Israelis. She has no choice but to stand firm on them. Now, Candace Owens is the one that we really want to.
Now, look, that's a theory.
That's a theory. A theory.
That's a theory.
That's a theory.
Okay.
That's a theory. We have to make that clear. Clear. Now, that's not something that was written or we saw in writing, but just
it's a theory. It's a theory. And that's what they're trying to address. And that's what they're trying to address.
Right.
Because the money, the ties to certain organizations, the ties to certain, it's a lot of stuff that's looking funny.
So Salaki, sorry if I may, the wealth that he had just for being a speaker was incredible.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was incredible. So being funded by the so-called Israelis and speaking on their behalf, especially when
he was getting pushback.
Yeah,
but he was getting pushback because he wasn't in agreement.
Right. No, I'm talking about before.
He started to pull away, like you mentioned. Exactly.
Yeah. And what's happening is what I was saying was when you're as a wife, when you're used to living a certain lifestyle, you have to go in that direction that he started off in anyway. She has to reverse that ship that he was turning around and going back the other way. She got to reverse that ship and go back the other way. And that's what I really want to hear. Just like you said, I want to hear what comes out of that one-on-one, because it's going to tell you, because we both know he was shifting, going back the other way. We know that as a fact. And if her ship turns and goes back the other way in the old direction, then we know she shifted and she going with them. And then because they making her the face of Turning Point, her speakings are going to be about
the Israelis.
Pro-Israelis.
Let's get some more on this story, and then maybe we can get an update on that meeting if it did happen.
Take your time.
Oh yeah, please. Now we're going to go into this article just a little bit more until my thumb come back. But I want you to keep in mind Candace Owens, and if y'all still with us, make sure y'all hit that like. Hit that like. It's a bunch of y'all. It's a bunch of y'all in there. It's a bunch of y'all on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter. Yeah, it's a bunch of y'all on the X right now. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Hit that share button. All right. So again, Candace Owens, the one that's on her podcast daily, bringing out information, bringing out, theories on what's going on and actual facts, actually text messages and threads and things concerning Charlie Kirk and things leading up to his death and things that's after, like people feeding her, valid and incredible information concerning it, which is leading to these so-called conspiracy theories surrounding Charlie Kirk's death. So let's get some more, and we'll get an update shortly. Which will likely center around the conspiracy theories surrounding Kirk's assassination being spread by Owens. Kirk shared on X that she and Owens have agreed that public discussions, live streams, and tweets are on hold until after this meeting. As you can see the tweet here by Erica Kirk. It says, "I look forward to a productive conversation," Kirk wrote. Tensions between Owens and Kirk, along with Turning Point USA staff, have been rising for weeks. Yes, of course, for weeks now. It's been like all over Twitter, all over TikTok. They going back and forth. She said this, she's a this, she's a that. She got to be stopped. Boom, boom, boom. Candace Owens responding like X, Y, and Z, very formal, very straightforward. I mean, it's a whole thing.
Right.
Candace got her team of people, her beehive. Trading Point got they people, they beehive or what
Right.
have you. And it's like a whole, it's a big mess. So it says tensions between Owens and Kirk, along with Turning Point USA staff, has been rising for weeks. Owens, who was once a close friend of Charlie's and employed at Turning Point USA, began peddling conspiracy. Peddling, like I didn't see that. That was a lot. Peddling conspiracy theories about Kirk's assassination, such as the government was hiding information about Kirk's death and that members of Turning Point USA were part of the assassination plot.
Now, what they talking about on that part right there is because of the way he was assassinated and the caliber gun that they said was used, it didn't add up to a lot of analysts, and I'm talking about expert ballistic analysts, things like that. And they said that what was being told to them and what was seen, you understand, and the way that he reacted when the thing happened. They talked about the gun that they said was a
30-08.
Yeah, they said that is not what would have happened to him.
It would have obliterated
them, of course. And we seen what happened. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not a gun expert, but listening to gun experts, I didn't hear a single gun expert agree with what the FBI and everybody else was saying. And then not only that, a lot of people were asking for his so-called assassination, why was the FBI involved? The FBI should not have been involved. Now, I got to look more into that because I believe
should have been handled on a local level.
Jurisdiction. It didn't deem the FBI, but the FBI was almost heading up the investigation. So that's another thing right there. Like we said, we don't go on conspiracy theories, but that's something that I really have to look into right there. So it was just like you said, Cap. It was a jurisdiction thing. So
it says Kirk has previously lambasted the baseless allegations being pushed by Owens. Let me get some more. When you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love and you are making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they are in on this? No. Kirk told Fox News on Wednesday at a CBS News town hall hosted by Bria Wise. Barry Wise on December the 13th. Kirk was asked by Wise what she would say to Owens and others who continue to spread lies about her husband's death. Stop. That's it, Kirk said. Candace and Kirk's meeting has how you pronounce that? Garnered.
Yeah, Garnered.
Garnered widespread attention with even Senator Ted Cruz weighing in on the matter. I pray that peace, reason, and love will prevail. Cruz wrote, man, listen, it's messy.
Yeah.
It's messy, man.
Peace, love, and hair grease, all that other type of bull.
It's messy.
Yo.
We're gonna get an update on that later this week. I'm thinking about coming in on Wednesday. But I want to get some more internet.
I'll be here Wednesday too.
Well, not Wednesday, Friday. My bad. So I want to get we gotta get another show in during the week or something. Maybe we can do it virtually or
you be pushing.
Because we ain't got enough time. We ain't got enough time to get it all.
I know. Yeah, but that'd be cool though. I mean, if we can do it virtually, that'd be cool. That'd be cool too. I could, yeah, I could do that. We just have to figure out the logistics.
We're gonna get it all. We're gonna get it all. But before we run, y'all, we gonna run out of here real soon. We gotta get.
Oh yeah.
Sydney Beach,
Australia. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna get this here. Bear with us 1 second while we pull this up. NPR. I'm gonna get NPR.
No,
NPR. Let's go to NPR.
Okay.
Which one you want? NPR, CNN.
Because I'm only looking at this because the first thing that they always try to put is that in there. You understand? As opposed to being biased or non-biased. They throw this. That's why they don't go there.
Let's go to NPR.
Yeah.
Well, this we're gonna share this. NPR, make sure y'all hit that like. We almost at 50 people in the chat right now. Make sure y'all hit that like. All right. Bear with us 1 second. I'm gonna share this article. We're gonna stop there. It's almost 8:30. All right. Unless you got another story, you gotta bring out. Let me know.
This is gonna be it right here.
At least 15. Oh, you want?
At least 15 killed in mass shooting at Hanukkah event on Sydney's Bondi Beach. Now I'm Hanukkah event Bondi Beach. A pair of father and son gunmen killed at least 15 people in a mass shooting at a Hanukkah celebration on Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia on Sunday, according to officials. At least 42 people have been hospitalized.
Jeez.
42. The elder gunman, age 50, was shot and killed by police, authorities said. His 24-year-old son was wounded and remains hospitalized. We are satisfied that there were 2 offenders involved, said New South Wales Police Commissioner. What's that? Mallanyan. In an update on Monday morning, we are not looking for a further offender. Among those killed are 10-year-old and 40-year-old man who died at the hospital, according to the New South Wales NWS Police. The attack occurred around 6:45 p.m. local time on Sunday when emergency services were called to the beach after reports of shots fired. Police also said 2 police officers are also injured with gunshot wounds. NSW police said.
Let me say something real quick now. Look, everybody getting brought in. They're gonna deem this as what? Terrorist attack now. They're gonna increase firearm laws, and they're gonna have new police forces, and they're gonna have all this protection for the so-called Jewish man. Look, but nobody want to recognize this, the cause of this.
Right.
The Israelis then bullied the earth also.
Yep.
You have enemies not because of your race, not because of your religion, but because of your crimes,
actions.
Your actions. They didn't unallow so many Arabs for what? For land, for oil, for all of these other things.
Salakia, if
and
I
you
may
expect these Arabs to just lay down. We ain't on the side of the Arab or the Muslim or nothing like that. We ain't on either of us. Right. Y'all both a bunch of goddamn wild men.
Right.
But look, don't try to come to me like, oh, be against them and be for you.
Right.
I'm against both of you goddamn murderers. Hey. Y'all both terrorists to me. Y'all both terrorize both of us. Okay? So like, you both extort us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
And if I may, sir,
Go ahead.
they've been doing this to these people since 1948.
Come on.
1948.
And you think they're not going to be your enemy?
It has become normalized for them to unalive. They actually call what they do mowing the lawn. They said every so often they have to go out and unalive some Palestinians to keep them in line and let them know who is in order. At the same time, they're dwindling their numbers. Mowing the lawn is them dwindling their numbers so that they can actually take over all the land. You understand? And it's horrible because you have other European countries allowing them to do it, namely America. You understand? And this is the reason why America
military money.
has to fall. America has to fall. Think about this, right?
They want to rejoice.
They said Israel is not even a country size, but they call them a country. They're a country with no borders. They have not even dictated where their borders begin or stop at, because they have plans for future plans in taking over all of the Gaza Strip. They have plans of taking over Lebanon. They have plans of taking over Syria, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia eventually. And that's supposed to be an ally of theirs. And they don't even, the thing about it is,
Trump was tripping about Qatar, what they did at Qatar.
Yeah.
He said, mess with Qatar again is on.
Right.
Yo. It's inevitable.
You know what's going to happen again. You know what's going to happen
100%.
You know what I mean? And then the thing
Saudi Arabia is going to get
Saudi Arabia, and this is what amazes me about Saudi Arabia. Not that we, just like Cap said, not that we on their side, but Saudi Arabia can't even see the bullet coming. They can't even see their name written on the bullet, and the bullet is coming. Who has Israel been loyal to over there? Nobody. So how could you possibly think this country is now finally going to be loyal to you?
Yeah, 100% the truth. Look,
oh my gosh,
D-Dan, that's what they call it in the Bible, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's called D-Dan or Sedan or D-Dan. Saudi Arabia is getting involved in the fight in World War III.
Right.
You understand? Next matter of fact, next week I should go ahead and do that World War III breakdown again. But that's what's going down. Like, all of these cats is getting drug into the fight in Australia too.
Right.
Now they got some something going down here.
2 police officers are also injured with the gunshot wounds. NSW police said hundreds of people. Oh. It said hundreds of people have gathered at the popular beach for Hanukkah by the sea, an event celebrating the start of Hanukkah, the annual Jewish festival. 2 basic improvised explosive devices were found at the scene and were active, Lanyon said. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese on Sunday called the shooting a targeted attack against Jewish Australians and a terrorist incident. Let me ask you a question, right? I wonder, do they call that what they're doing to the Gazans a terrorist attack? When people come in and get food and you're unaliving them, when you setting them up to come and get food and then you unalive, is that a terrorist attack? Terrorist attack is a terrorist act against a civilian people. That's what a terrorist attack is.
These Israelis convinced the world that if it ain't white, it ain't right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna label the people that unaliving as uncivilized, just like they did us.
Right.
They called us savages. They called us spics. They called us all types of names. The true children of Israel. So the world can say they deserve it. Oh, it's less. Their death is less meaningful.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it at that though. If you had anything else,
Nope. That was it.
you know what I'm saying? We gonna have more. I mean, we didn't even get to all of them this time, so fine. We gonna have much more on the One West News Desk next Monday. Make sure y'all tune in. We're gonna bring local, national, and international news to your platform to get you hip and aware of what's going on in the world. You understand?
Right.
We are under command of Yohana again in the Israelite School of UPK. And with that, shalom. Good show. Damn good show.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're One West. They're One West. They're One West. They're